Welcome back to St. Mary's St. Peter's Parish here in Rome, New York. You'll notice we're not in the office this week, we're here in church, and the reason for that is because now we, as a parish, can be in church during the week for Masses as well as on the weekends. There are some restrictions, though, and one of them is 25% capacity of the building. Here at St. Peter's Church, the building's 25% capacity would be about 260 people. And so some alterations have been added to the church to help you, when you return to church, to know where you can sit and still maintain the required social distancing measures. You'll notice, for example, there are gold ribbons. On the Sacred Heart side of the church, the ribbons are red. On the Blessed Mother's side of the church, the ribbons are blue. The ribbons mark off every other pew. And when you enter a pew that is open, there are yellow markers. The markers are 1 in one pew, 2 in another pew, so that no matter where you sit in the church, each household can be 6 foot from the next. When you first enter church, there will be ushers to help you, to welcome you, first of all, and to help you navigate through some of these alterations. Also, when you enter the church, at each entrance of the church, there are dispensers for sanitizer, so that you may sanitize your hands as you enter the church. Please bring a small sanitizer with you, if you have one, to be able to sanitize your hands just before communion. The other restriction that we have to follow is at communion time. When you come up for communion, you'll come up pew by pew as you're accustomed to doing. But as you approach the altar, while you're in the communion line, please try to maintain, as best as you can see, 6 feet from the person in front of you. When you approach the priest or the deacon or the Eucharistic minister for communion, and you reach out to receive the Blessed Sacrament, once you've received communion, step aside, lower your mask, receive the Blessed Sacrament, raise your mask again, and return to your seat. After each Mass, the church will be sanitized. We have two hours between Masses to afford that time necessary to make sure that the church is clean and provides a healthy environment for the people who come to the next Mass. You can go online to find out what our Mass times are on Saturday and on Sunday. Confessions will still be at 4:15 until 4:45 on Saturday, but I'll have to be very strict with ending at 4:45 for the time being, to give me time to then leave the confessional, wash and sanitize my hands, and prepare to celebrate the Holy Mass. These restrictions, I'm sure, will only be temporary. We're in phase 3 now of the upstate New York reopening program, and soon we'll be in phase 4. Once that happens, we hope that things will be back to what you and I would consider normal. But until then, we need to be patient with one another. We need to be understanding of one another. And we need to remember that as Christians, we are a family. To treat one another with the love and the respect that one would hope to find in one's own family. Another thing that occurred to me as I'm talking to you, my peripheral vision shows me that there are no pews, musical books or missalettes in the pews. You'll notice that too when you come back to church at first. All the booklets have been removed and will remain absent until we're instructed otherwise by the bishop. The Masses here at St. Peter's Church on the weekends will be offered 4 times. On Saturday evening, Mass will be at 5 o'clock, as you're used to. But the Mass times for Sunday have changed. We've added 1 Mass to accommodate the restricted numbers of people at each Mass. So Mass on Sunday, temporarily, will be at 7 a.m., 9 a.m., and 11 a.m. If you plan on returning to Mass this weekend or in the near future, you must call the rectory and register your name. With only 25% capacity allowed in the church at one time, I certainly wouldn't want to turn anyone away who just shows up at the door. By registering ahead of time, this ensures you that when you arrive, you'll be welcomed, your name will be marked off, and you'll be able to sit in the pews designated as we had mentioned earlier. Please be sure to call the rectory Monday through Thursday between 9 and noon. That gives the ladies in the office the afternoons and all-day Friday to collate all of the information that they've received and type up a form for the ushers to have in hand on Sunday morning. I know it can be a little confusing at times, and to be honest with you, there's times I feel a little frustrated. But it's for the best, and we'll get through this as we move forward. It's an exciting time. It's a wonderful time to return to the Mass on this coming Sunday, the feast of the body and blood of Jesus, Corpus Christi Sunday. A great time to celebrate that feast in the church as we receive for the first time in quite a while the Holy Eucharist. I hope you share with me the same joy. I hope you'll pray for me as I pray for you, that we both have patience during this unusual and exciting time. And we always continue to pray for peace in the world, for peace in our nation, for peace in our neighborhoods, and for peace in our hearts. I look forward to seeing you this Sunday. Thank you, and God bless.